I suppose I'm here to present to you progress I made on the HCABrowser package. The purpose of the HCABrowser package is to provide, I suppose, consumers of the human cell list with a R interface to access, access information on the human cell list, and also to query and browse the human cell atlas. And so far, so again, I'm just I've already run this code, so I'm just using it. I'm actually just scrolling down the screen just to show you the output of these various, I guess, the main functionality of the package. So again, the package is called HCABrowser, and the main class is of course the HCABrowser class. As of right now, it only takes an argument pointing to the URL pointing to the DSS site that is holding the current iteration of human cell list, and a per page argument, which is an argument that will determine how many pages are downloaded from the human, how many, I suppose, bundles are actually downloaded from the human cell atlas per page. So when we print our object, we get a display like this. It just again shows the what the current site we're pointing at is. We have a current query, which is currently null. Currently shows nothing because there's no query made yet. There is a current selection of various, I suppose, useful fields that we would find are important for the user to not important, but we'd find are by default useful for the user to view in order to get an idea of what's in their current selection. And we have a class. I mean, the search result class just shows the actual elements inside the I guess the bundles that are currently shown from the results. So there are currently 54,000 bundles inside this DSS. And finally, we have our table showing a preview of the results. So this is our first 10 pages. It's showing 10 bundles. And yes, here are the relevant columns in the current selection. I might notice that some of them are actually NA. I suppose some bundles are entered without having certain values for library preparation and such. So that's one thing we might. These might not be interested in these bundles, but going forward, we have further columns, and we can access the results of our HCA object just using the results method. You can see we have 10 results from that results method from up here. And we can actually specify the number of results that we want to get from the HCA object. And here we download 26 results, and here we can see that this table has 26 results in it as well. And going further down, we're able to, right now the HCA, the human cell list, I suppose I don't have the object printed, is querying files as opposed is querying bundles opposed to files. I suppose I shouldn't print this, but the purpose of this is to allow the user to either to toggle between browsing the files that are currently on these bundles in the HCA, or to browse just the bundles themselves. And I guess the purpose of this was to just show that there's 351 files within these first 10 bundles in the HCA. So now we have this next results function. This is just a, I guess, method. This is just a way to query further results in the HCA. So what's important here is that our HCA object here has is showing 11 of 20 bundles. Which I'll say about that. It can continuously move through the bundles in that manner. We're able to, Okay, we're able to observe, understand which fields are in the HCA by using the field function. The field, essentially what this shows, we have abbreviated names that are the shortest possible names for the user, and the actual field names as they appear in the JSON schema. This is just meant as a way to allow the user to quickly query the HCA using HCABrowser without actually having to know the complexities of the HCA schema. We're also able to filter by values. I mean, to find the values in the HCA for these particular fields. So if we type in org.txt, library construction approach.txt, we get a tibble that shows all possible values in the HCA for these fields. And we can also, I guess it's just no use case where we can actually just rep on the value of brain and find all fields that contain some information on brain. So this is just the filter. This is the filter function of the HCA. It allows us. It's basically a method for querying the HCA using dplyr's filter functionality. In fact, the entire package is meant to actually function with dplyr. So doing this, we're looking. There's essentially several ways to look for brain and blood in organ.txt. And as you can see, this is the result of the search, 10,000 bundles. And you can see our current query is updated to organ.txt equals brain or blood, at least for this case. And I suppose I truncate this one. This is the filter functionality can accept nots and ors in a myriad of different fields actually, and can actually they can actually parse a arbitrarily complex filter arguments. So here's that complex filter argument. We just went across 3 fields for organ.txt, genus species.txt, and library construction approach.txt. And here's the resulting objects. We narrowed it down to 5,000 bundles. There's some handy functionality here, which we have a way to undo ES queries to preserve the HCABrowser objects. Here we're just doing 2 searches on organ.txt equals hard and organ.txt does not equal brain. If we undo that, this resets the query to the original state. And we also have reset ES query, which that will reset the ES query to original state regardless of the amount of arguments made. We have the select methods on the HCA as well, and basically what the select method does is that it will show the selections inside of our results table there. So we can see actually in our current selection, we had paired in an organ.ontology, and you see here the current selection that these are added to the current selection there. They will appear inside this results table here. So finally, one major use case is going too fast. Sorry, hard to. Okay, one major use case is to utilize is to pull bundle FQIDs from the HCABrowser. So we have functions called pull bundles that will pull relevant bundle FQIDs that will we suppose. I guess this information is useful for the user. I think Marcel will tell you more about this later. And show bundles is a way to actually query the HCA quickly for a particular bundle ID. The very last thing, we have a way to actually to pull files as well, and to actually obtain the files from the HCABrowser using the get file method. And what it does is that it downloads the files and saves them via browser file cache to a certain path on your computer. I guess that's all I have to show.
All right, thanks very much, Daniel. Our next speaker is going to be Marcel.